I'm Tara. So today I'll be showing you how I created a topic cluster, how I did it, and why I did it, and the results that I got from it. So, for a little bit of context, so Mono has like a product called Mono Direct Debit, which basically allows businesses of any type that collect recurring payments to securely collect recurring payment from their customers' account directly. So in 2023, NIBS had, um, opened up their direct debit mandate service to select providers in Nigeria, and Mono was part of those providers, along with some established payment companies and, traditional banks. So when we had, launched our product in private beta, we had just that, one announcement article. And when you'd go on Google to like search, okay, direct debit providers in Nigeria, Mono wouldn't come up on the first page, and or it wouldn't even come up at all because we didn't really have, a lot of content on direct debit. We didn't even have like, we only just had like stuff on our documentation and our announcement articles. So we didn't really have that authority online as a direct debit provider. So to fix that, I decided to, let's create a topic cluster on direct debit, which is basically what you see here. So my team and we created this couple of articles on like direct debit, which is what you see here. So I'm going to walk you through how this topic cluster was created down to like the results that we saw from it. So I'll start from the very beginning. So to get started, I started, with the audience research to really, determine who is this content for or who is our product for. And it's like people like, lenders to buy now pay later operators to businesses that offer, subscription-based services to insurance companies or investment or savings services. So I then now decided, okay, what are the problems that this our audience face, which is they want a better way to like collect recurring payments online, and our product Mono Direct Debit was going to solve that problem for them. So I now got down to keyword research, and our target keyword was direct debit. And at the time, there wasn't a lot of information on direct debit online because we had gone from where, there were like physical mandates where you had to like walk to your bank and ask them to like set up a mandate on your account. So that was what people knew now, physical mandates, paper mandates. So at the time, online mandates were not becoming a thing, and so a lot of people had questions about how it worked, what are direct debits, how does even mandate work, how do you set it up, or things are like, oh, if I give a business access to debit my account, what type of assets am I giving them, what kind of assets, what's the level of assets that they have to my account. So people had a lot of questions on direct debit at the time. So we are going for like, informational search intent to like certify that search queries and answer those questions that people had. Then I determined like the search traffic potential and if also my target keyword was, broad enough to generate subtopics. So I started with, using SEMrush to do my keyword research and then looking at the data for, the keyword, I was able to see that because I specifically went to, the questions tab because I really wanted to know what are the questions people had around this topic. So people were asking things like, oh, what is mandate? How do you set it up? What are even like the differences between standing order and direct debit? Is direct debit automatic? That sort of thing. And then I also looked at other countries like the US and the UK, and they also had like similar questions on this because I really wanted to know, okay, in the general sense, what were the questions people were asking in general about direct debit. I even did like, a simple Google search to check, okay, what are the questions that people also like asking on direct debit, and, how can we like fill that content gap. So at the time in Nigeria, for instance, there wasn't even a very identified search intent for like direct debit or keyword difficulty at the time, given that, online mandates were very new. So it was like an opportunity for us to fill that content gap. And because you knew that people, were asking questions, right? So when I had like identified, okay, this is what's going on, these are the questions that people have, I now went on to, started looking at, okay, what are the top 10 pages that are ranking for direct debit at the moment. And from there, I was able to see like some pages that are ranking for these keywords. And then doing my research, I also found out that Go Cardless already has like, a topic lost on direct debits. So it was like also like really helpful to like look through that and say, okay. And they are ranking like on the top for search results for like direct debits. And that kind of also like helped me, plan and figure out, okay, what do I want my pillar page to be? What do I want the stock pages to be? So when I was done with like, this research, I was now able to like see, okay, this is what my pillar page would be about, and this is what the sub pages would be, and they will now be, interlinked to each other, and this is what you want to like discuss for like each article. So after we are done with that and the articles have been created and stuff, let me now show you what are the results that we got from this. So let's go back to, okay, I need to also mention a caveat that apart from like these articles you created on direct debit, we also had to now find out ways to distribute these articles online without just, posting it one time. So what are like several ways you can distribute it and, help us build our authority online on direct debit. So we did like single image posts down to like, carousels. Like for instance, this carousel that talked about the differences between standing order and direct debit, down to, this one on cards versus direct debit. And we even went as far as, doing like, video content on like direct debit. And we had like even, social proof posts showing how other businesses are using direct debit and the results they've gotten from it. So it wasn't just on, the articles. They also had to like find other ways to, build our authority online. And so let me show you some of the results we like achieved from this. So I'm going to go to my incognito tab. So let's do a Google search and ask, direct debit provider in Nigeria. You would see when we do this, like Mono comes up here. And then you also see that our pillar page article is like the first one on AI overview. And it's on position number 2 here. Also like asks, what is direct debit? And see what comes up. What is direct debit? So you'd see that on AI overview, our article comes up like the first one here, and it's on position number 4 for this search result. So let's also like ask, okay, direct debit for lenders and see what comes up. Direct debit for lenders. So our article on direct debit, a guide for lenders, also comes up, position number 1, followed by our pillar page article. And then our pillar page article is like literally on the first, is on the first position for that keyword. So besides, like Google search. It's also like doing very well based on LLM search, which means that say someone is using Chat GPT or maybe Cloud AI and asks it, who are the direct debit providers in Nigeria, Mono would come up because we now have like, content online for this generative AI to like pull from. And it kind of like now recognizes us as a provider in Nigeria. So we'll try that in a bit. But before, let's try that on ChatGPT. So let's ask who are the direct debit providers in Nigeria. In searching, it mentions names of course, then it mentions like, Mono here that we offer the direct debit solution in Nigeria. So like it recognizes us as like a direct debit provider in the market. So let's also like try something else because I have a prompt that we can try. So we are asking that, oh, I'm an insurance service provider and I'm looking for a better way to collect, recurring payment. Let's see what comes up. So it recommends like top three mono direct debits, then other providers as well. So let me show you something else as well. So I should point out something that when we publish like the pillar page for our pillar page article, we are within a week we're already ranking for position one for that target keyword on the first page of Google. Then it became like a featured spinnet. And this is like by just publishing it on our blog and not sharing it anywhere else. And then like as you can see so far, like we've remained on like position one and we are ranking for the information and search intent. And we have like several sub features like people also ask, video, site link, knowledge panel, related search, and AI overview, which is important now. And one interesting thing to note was that when we initially started working on this topic cluster, the keyword difficulty for direct debit was much lower. But as direct debit is becoming increasingly popular, a lot of people are asking more questions. A lot of people are building solutions on top of direct debits. So the keyword difficulty for direct debits, this keyword has also gone up, like it has increased. So another thing I also want to show you is that, how we are, getting some of our referral traffic from generative AI tools. So if you look at here, you see that ChatGPT is like our top three, one of our top three referral sources, and it has like an engagement rate of 57.24%, and the second highest average engagement time per session. Then apart from that, we also rank for other tools, AI tools like we have Google Gemini here. Then we also have Diversity AI here as well. And we also have Cloud AI here as well. So it means that more people are asking these generative AI tools about how to use monetary debit or about mono in general, and they're getting answers. And we also have content online that these tools can pull from as their source when answering people's questions, which means that right now AI tools are like a huge thing. So it's really important that your content online is well detailed and satisfies users' search queries, and it has enough context, and it's a lot more product led, so that when people ask these questions, these tools can pull from your article as a source, basically. So I think that's about that what I can show today. And I also kind of like been tracking, sign up links that I've included in those articles, but I can't show that now. Um, but I also have like an article where I kind of like went in depth onto how we achieved this from top to bottom on my Substack, which is like my marketing newsletter. So you can go check that out. And maybe if you need an in-depth video about how those articles were created and how we created it to make sure that we are ranking well for the keyword and for even like generative AI tools. I can do that. So that's all for now. Bye.